What's new from the Barbados Light and Power Company with your host, Nicole Scantlebury.
Thanks for joining me for the June edition of What's New Radio. The 2022 Atlantic hurricane season begins June 1st to November 30th. The current prediction for the season is that it will be an above normal one. So the focus of our program this month is hurricane preparedness. For any hurricane season, it is important that you receive timely, credible information and use only sources that are verifiable. During the hurricane season, our partnership with key organizations like the Department of Emergency Management is critical. Our representatives on location during weather events liaise with all the partners to ensure solid, accurate information for our customers. You can trust the information we provide about our lines and services throughout the season. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at BLPC Online and on Twitter at BLPC. Visit our website, www.blpc.com.bb for hurricane preparedness tips, and download the ECI Restore app, which was launched last year following Hurricane Elsa, which has been reactivated again this year. Customers can use the app to tell us about what's happening in their neighborhood. And speaking of hurricanes, the World Meteorological Organization has listed the male and female names for the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. They are Alex, Colin, Bonnie, Daniel, Earl, Fiona, Gaston, Hermine, Ian, Julia, Carl, Lisa, Martin, Nicole, Owen, Paula, Richard, Shari, Tobias, Virginie, and Walter. Yes, you heard right. Nicole is one of the given names for hurricanes this season. But since there are 13 other names before Nicole, I am hopeful that this season will not require a hurricane named Nicole.
What's new from the Barbados Light and Power Company?
My first guest is Johan Graves, Director of Operations and Light and Power's Hurricane Coordinator. Good to have you on the program again, Johan.
Thanks, Nicole.
I want to talk to you about this year's preparedness for the hurricane season. But can we first talk a little about the lessons learned from Hurricane Elsa? What do you consider to be the main takeaways for the company?
Okay, so in looking back at Hurricane Elsa, one of the key things I would say is that it demonstrated to us that preparedness is key. Having not experienced a hurricane for many years, we would have had a lot of procedures on paper, but last year Hurricane Elsa gave us the opportunity to put a lot of those procedures to test. And as a result, we were able to tweak a number of our procedures to be able to respond in a better manner if such an eventuality happens again. Another thing that came out from the Hurricane Elsa was the need for communication with customers. Now, we recognize that not only do we need to be able to get communication out there, but we needed to find a way to get communication to customers who incidentally may not have had electricity at the point in time. What that has resulted in us having to do is looking for different avenues so that we could get the messages out to persons in various communities if they are out of electricity and therefore not able to tune into some of the traditional media sources. The last thing I would mention today is the fact that the ECI Restore app that we deployed last year, it was very useful. I think it showed us, gave us a new insight into how we can communicate with customers and get information from them. And coming out of that experience, we've gone back and we've done some tweaks to that app so that it can better serve us if we need to call on that app again.
Now let's turn to your hurricane planning for this year. I said at the beginning of the program that it's predicted to be an above normal hurricane season. So let's look at some of your planning, starting with our poles. How have we been maintaining and managing them?
Thanks, Nicole. So across our network, we have over 70,000 poles that we have to maintain in good working order to allow electricity to be delivered to our customers. Now, we have a maintenance program where we periodically inspect various poles on our network and we schedule them to be changed where necessary. Now, last year, the network and all the poles and our infrastructure would have come under severe stress, firstly by the freak storm and then by Hurricane Elsa. And what that meant then is that we had to conduct a lot more inspections than we would have done on the normal occasion to ensure that we were able to identify any issues out there when it came specifically to poles and our hardware. So coming up with that, we would have done quite a lot of inspections. We would have then had to prioritize the number of issues that we found out there. And over the last few months, we've been working to resolve all of them. Also, from time to time, we do get reports from customers who will call in and alert us that there's an issue with a pole. And then we would normally seek to go and inspect those and actually seek to have the issue addressed. So these are ongoing programs. What I will also like to add here is that within the last 5 years, recognizing the impact of hurricanes in the region, that the intensity of the hurricanes and storms that we were seeing were increasing, we made the decision to upgrade the strength or the class of poles that we use so that they can withstand greater forces or stronger storms or hurricanes.
Is there anything else you would like your customers to know about the dependability of the utility over this upcoming hurricane season?
Thanks, Nicole. What I will say to customers is that you can depend on us throughout this hurricane season. We've done our hurricane preparedness and we are ready to face whatever challenges come our way this year. We will also encourage you to prepare for your own immediate surroundings and do your necessary preparation at home. And you can be assured that if or when there is a system or storm or hurricane come, we here at Light and Power will be working around the clock to ensure that we can restore power to you as soon as possible.
Thank you so much, Johan, for coming in. I know that this is an especially busy time for you, so I truly appreciate you coming in to break this all down for us, as well as our listeners. Johan Graves is Director of Operations and the Hurricane Coordinator at Light and Power.
What's new from the Barbados Light and Power Company?
Incoming mail. Inbox.
My next guest is Shano Bell, our Supply Chain Administrator. Hello, Shano, and welcome back to What's New Radio. It's good to have you with us again.
Hi, Nicole. Certainly good to be here again also.
Okay, so tell me about the supply chain challenges that the company is experiencing.
Yes, so utilities regionally and internationally, Nicole, are facing major supply chain challenges that could possibly linger into 2023 or longer. These challenges came about due to the COVID-19 pandemic, with the initial shutdown of China in 2020, the subsequent shutdown of copper and coal mines around the world, and the increased demand for plastics. Manufacturers were unable to get key components such as copper, aluminum, steel, and plastic resin to manufacture our key equipment. Things such as transformers, cables, ducts, and our pole line hardware. Lead times also for these critical materials has now risen from 3 months to more than a year in many cases due to the backlog. While BLPC customers have enjoyed consistent turnaround times for commercial and residential infrastructure and emergency response, service levels will certainly be tested if this critical equipment needed is not available. In addition, Nicole, commodity prices have risen tremendously over the last 2 years. We have seen the price on crude oil rise by 100%, aluminum by over 40%, copper by over 30%, and steel by over 20%, which have significant impacts on the cost of our key materials and transport costs. In order to help mitigate against these shortfalls, we at BLPC made a decision to increase the level of stock that we will normally carry in order to reduce the risk of stockouts and the inability to adequately serve our customers. Apart from the quantity increase, we have also been proactive in increasing our reorder points to mitigate against the long lead times. We have also been leveraging our opportunity to allow Emira as the parent company to negotiate for critical spares for the wider group and on our behalf. Rather than functioning as a single entity, there's a tremendous benefit from being part of a larger organization of electric utilities. So with these practices, we are able to reduce our risk of the disruptions negatively impacting our business, but we are still very much vulnerable and not out of the woods yet.
Thank you for sharing that, Shano. This is our hurricane preparedness episode. Could you tell our listeners exactly what your part of the business is doing to ensure that we are hurricane ready?
Right. So this year for hurricane preparedness, Nicole, we would have prepared and replenished our stock items, send out all our purchase orders well in advance of our regular time due to the disruption. So we would have started this process in December of 2021. And our orders are mostly in by now, ready for the June 1st start of the hurricane season. But as you know, the lead times are so expanded now, we're still awaiting more items that are trickling in June, July, August.
Okay, I understand. Shano, thank you again for taking the time to come in and share with us about this. And I truly wish you and your team all the best as you continue to work to mitigate these challenges.
Thank you so very much, Nicole.
You're listening to What's New Radio with me, Nicole Scantleberry, Communications Advisor for Light and Power. We encourage our customers to use the energy saving tips on our website, blpc.com.bb, and social media pages at BLPC Online. I know that I'm using more energy working from home, doing online browsing and shopping and using more apps. So it's important to monitor and be aware of your energy usage and find ways that you and your family can save on your electricity bill during this time of higher oil prices.
Light and Power, our story. Our story.
A significant part of Light and Power's active hurricane planning is our vegetation management program. During the last 5 months, we have trimmed over 2,173 trees, which could have severely impacted the network. Linesman Gregory Sobers tells us his story.
My name is Gregory Sobers. I'm the linesman working at the Barbados Light and Power Company. Today I was trimming customer trees in St. James, Porters to be specific. Tree trimming is very important in maintaining a strong and reliable electrical system because trees falling and hurricanes or just falling when they get old can damage poles, the lines, bring them down and cause power outages. Yeah, ask customers to when you're planting a tree, be aware of the location you're planting a tree, check to see if there are any lines around, the type of tree you're planting, how tall it's going to grow. You try to keep planting clear of the power lines. You may believe that planting a tree, say 10 feet away from the power lines might be good today, but the tree grows and spreads out. If it's a tree that spreads out a lot, it'll be into the power lines in another 5 years or so. You have to come and cut it. The biggest don't is do not climb trees with power lines in them. Do not climb fruit trees with power lines in them. Keep away from the power lines. If the line's passing through the tree, you call it and power, we will come and clear it. Then you can pick your fruit at your leisure. Don't plant trees right on the power lines either. That's another big no-no. I just say add on also, if there's trees in the lines and you wish to have them cut, you can call 626-4300 and request that the trees be cut from the power lines.
What's new from the Barbados Light and Power Company?
I'm Nicole Scantleberry. Thank you for being with me for our Hurricane Preparedness Program. If you've missed some of this program or any of our monthly programs, you can catch up on our website, blpc.com.bb, and search for What's New Radio. Till next month, bye for now.
This program was produced for the Barbados Light and Power Company by SFA Communications.